redefining strength, the many kinds of strength. I think that's really helpful for us to be aware of as we're working with strength, that there's a lot of different ways we can be strong and resilient. And there's a lot of judgment that often happens around that, but that we can keep coming back to what are some of the complex situations that we're in? What are some of the ways that we support ourselves? It's complicated, like most things in life. I am strong and resilient. What is your response to that in your body? Let's sit with that for a moment. So tune into your physical body, notice your breath. This is a reverse inquiry of something we wish was more true, but we have an idea that we're not 100% there. And we say these words in order to bring forward any resistance or any doubt that we have. Get your body comfortable and take a few breaths. I am strong and resilient. You could say it out loud or hear my words or hear it in your mind. And then we're checking in to see, how does our body feel about that? What are the thoughts that come up in the mind? This is something that is a dance. It's not something that's a yes, no. So standing up for ourselves can be a form of strength. Physical strength, obviously, we have enough strength to open a jar. Do I have enough strength to live my life? So physical capacity, strength. Then there's the emotional, that ability to be here, to not escape. Some of that is nervous system regulation. If we are activated into a fight, flight, freeze response, we're not going to be available emotionally. It takes a lot of strength to be present, especially when things are difficult, and to not judge ourselves when we are activated into one of those. That's also a dance. The courage to speak up is another form of strength. Authenticity, vulnerability, there's a lot of forms of that, and they show up in our daily life all the time. Can we stand up for ourselves in the sense of, can I just tell the truth about who I am, what I feel, what I believe? And can I be smart about that as well? So sometimes the intelligence of, this is not the right time for me to speak up. It's too dangerous. The costs are too high. But I can be present with myself. I can have the courage to know my own truth. Another form of strength. Endurance. Life is kind of an endurance event. And sometimes things are going so smoothly, we forget almost. And then the difficulties come back, or we come up for air. And it's like, wow, maybe it's in my own life. Maybe it's in somebody else that I care about, or people generally. And do we give up? Do we stay the course? Perseverance is that ability to just keep working with what we know works. If what we know works is to stay in connection with ourselves, to be kind, to not be judgmental of when we aren't living up to what we feel like we could or should, do we keep going? And I think this is a really key indicator right now as we're just in the beginning of 2025. Can we not give up on the world? Can we continue to believe that working for the kind of world we want to live in, could we continue to believe that that's worthwhile and that it's possible? And then we can have experiences where we really feel that in our whole body and our bones. I know that this is worthwhile. I know that it's possible. We can look at what our ideas about that are, but where we have that knowledge in our gut. And then compassionate presence. It takes a lot of strength to keep an open heart in the circumstances we're in now. And an open heart doesn't mean that that's sappy, everything's good, I have to accept everything. It's the capacity to have an open heart and our full intelligence as well, to have the clarity to see the truth and the courage to allow the truth to be what it is, and to know that we have options, we have agency. We're not denying the truth of the harm. And we also know that there are things that we can do together, especially. And can we have an open heart so that we're not drowning in that hatred or fear or grief or denial about life shouldn't be this way? Can we have an open heart and clarity and a clear mind? Those are all forms of strength and resilience. Sit with that sentence, I am strong and resilient. What was happening for you as I was speaking about those various ways? And what does that feel like right now in your body? I am strong and resilient. Let's go into some reflection, some inquiry. What are your personal strength levels lately? So, if you're noticing a big shift in the last few months or years, then you might look at it in that specific time period. But you could also look at it over your lifetime. Do you have a sense that you're a strong person? Do you have a sense that things are difficult, but you are still managing, even if it's not quite what you'd like? And has that changed over your lifetime, the last few years? Do a broad level review through your life. What are your personal strength levels? And then some specifics. Do you feel like that's pretty consistent, or do you have a lot of big swings in your experience? Do you feel really despondent and overwhelmed and kind of depressed and like there's nothing I can do? Alternating between feeling consistently strong. As we're looking at that, to keep yourself in your own heart, we're not blaming ourselves if we experience times of feeling really overwhelmed and depressed and disappointed and like, I don't know if this is worth it. I don't feel very strong. One of the things that gets in the way of really being with our own experience is the judgment. So, could we just look at this from that perspective of, I'm just looking to see what's here? What is my experience? And when we do experience some stress, how quickly do we bounce back from that? Sometimes we get really tired, and as we get older, especially, I've noticed it takes me a little longer to recover than it used to. Recover in the sense of feeling rested again or more balanced again. All of those questions over your lifetime, how does it vary day to day? Is it consistent or is there a lot of volatility there? And how quickly you recover? Let's sit with that for a moment and notice what are the thoughts that are coming and going in your mind? What's your experience with this? And then let's let that be, whatever your insights were there, and move into now what activities, people, and practices support your strength and resilience, and what activities, people, and beliefs drain your strength. Let's look at it from a big picture, and then we're going to get into working with one limiting belief in particular. But what is your sense? Maybe some people will come to mind. Maybe there's some things that you enjoy doing or that you do well. You might have a memory of something from when you were a child, something where you felt really strong, or it might be a little bit more recent. There's the opposite too. Some people, we feel really judged around them, and that can limit our emotional regulation for sure, because we're kind of protecting ourselves. Or if we're trying a new skill and we're really frustrated because it's not going well, are we able to stay neutral around that, or does it make us feel incompetent? What supports your strength and resilience? What drains that? And notice what it feels like in your body as you're focusing on people and activities and practices that support your strength, help you to feel strong and resilient. And then let's move into really working with one limiting belief that makes us feel weaker. So if it's a person's face, it might be words, it might be the memory of an experience. Notice one limiting belief, though. It might be something like a core deficiency belief, like I'm too stupid or I'm not, whatever that might be. Get it as specific as you can. And then feel the sensations in your body as well. When we have those memories come in of something or those beliefs, we generally feel weaker. Maybe we're holding our breath a bit. So let your breath move in your body. And if there's something kind of persistent here, even if it's not, take the image of it, or if it's words, you might do tapping on your forehead. But if you have an image, take it and put it over on the wall on the other side of the room and look at it. Really see these are the images, the words. You could put that in a frame. You could notice that the image is over there. We're trying to help the brain know that this is a belief or an experience we're looking at. And if it's an experience, what is the limiting belief? I'm weak. I'll never be able to do that. Put those words into that as well. We have the words, the frame, and then we have the empty space on the outside of the frame. So we could do that frame trace. Take your eyes around the empty space a couple times in one direction, a couple times in the other direction. Notice if your body has tensed. Move your shoulders around, loosen your jaw. Take a breath. So, really experimenting what the feeling of that is in our body. And sometimes these beliefs are well known to us, and other times they're kind of hiding a little bit more under the surface. So, now let's move to strength. One of the reasons we don't spend too long on the experiences of feeling weak or limited is because our brain thinks what we're thinking is true. And so we don't want to be giving it too much ammunition. Recall a time when you felt really strong, resilient, and be as specific as you can. Make it a specific memory. Who was with you? What were you doing? What were you saying? Maybe you were setting a boundary and you took a breath and relaxed your shoulders and said, I need to let you know that that doesn't work for me. I won't listen to you saying whatever that might be that you're going to do. So see yourself in that situation. And if you want, bring your body into a confident posture. So you could stand, physically stand up, let your shoulders be relaxed, or you could do this in your mind. Feel the soles of your feet on the floor. We're grounded on something really solid. We're grounded on the earth. And feel the strength in your legs. So you might be working with some kind of limitation on your physical strength. Energetically, oh, I'm here. I'm grounded. I'm steady. I'm present for myself. I believe in myself. Let yourself feel that in your body. Your legs be strong, your body relaxed. Let your breath move. Say the words. Maybe you're repeating something you've said in the past, or maybe it's words that you wish you could have said. But now you're tapping into that strength and you're saying it. Feel that in your body. And if your mind is coming in with anything negative, ask that to move back. That's not what we're doing right now. Let yourself feel the pleasure, the strength, the confidence of being strong. Feel it in your body. And if we give ourselves a few minutes for this, we can get into the specifics. Oh, yeah, that's right. When I feel like this, my whole body relaxes. Feel yourself saying the words, listen to yourself saying them. You don't have any doubt that you can be here, be confident that you can do this. Deep breaths, soften your whole body, head to toes. And now bring back that limiting belief for a moment and notice how your body changes. Did you notice a different energy or sensation? What is the purpose of that belief? I can't do it. I'm too weak. I'm whatever that is that you believing. We're not saying the belief is foolish because often those beliefs are based on experience. We're also not believing that it's right. We don't have to believe everything that comes into our mind. So as you're looking at that belief, notice how it feels in your body. It always impacts us in our body when we have a negative belief about ourselves. But what is the purpose of that? Is there a purpose? And what might that be? Sometimes negative beliefs are to make us play small so we don't take a risk. Sometimes it's to alert us. This is a scary situation. I'm not sure if I'm strong enough. I need to do some work on that ahead of time. Often it's just conditioning. Our culture conditions us that we really don't have much value unless we fall into this certain category. If we're productive, if we're successful, all of those things. Those things aren't true. And yet they can hold a lot of power over us. Just checking in, what is the purpose of that belief? If it doesn't feel like that's a helpful belief, work on letting that go. Look right at that and go, that is not true. It's not true that my only value is my ability to carry heavy things or whatever that might be. And then how could we also bring in all of the ways that we do contribute? So if the belief is something about I don't have any value anymore, could you look at some of the other ways that you do have value and that you do have strength? It could be that you're the one who has the courage to be authentic and vulnerable, and that other people are able to open up around you because you have a compassionate, kind heart. That's a huge strength for people. So, what is it for you? What are some of the other ways that you contribute? I'm going to move back to the slide here at the beginning. Physical, emotional, courage to speak up, endurance, perseverance, and compassionate presence. Let yourself feel into that for you. What do you bring to yourself, the world, your relationships through the different types of strength that you have? And feel that in your body as well. Let yourself feel your own strength. I am strong and resilient. Notice now what your response is to that. And this is something we can keep coming back to again and again as we build our strength and resilience through practice, through staying away from things that drain us. There's lots of ways that we can do that. But we can keep coming back into I don't have to be perfectly strong and perfectly resilient to respect myself and be kind and be on my own side. I can do that right now.